In the headlines, Edo community seeks government's intervention over dilapidated infrastructure. Properties worth millions of naira destroyed as fire razes homes in Ilorin. Borno State Governor Zulum condemns killing of 8 farmers by ISWAP insurgents in Mafa local government. And on the foreign scene, Sierra Leone votes in national elections amid economic crisis. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I'm Aisha Salihu. Thanks for joining us. We begin with Ogede community in Ovia Northeast local government area of Edo State, where residents have called on the state government to, as a matter of urgency, come to their rescue and help facilitate the renovation of the only secondary school in the community. According to the community, the call became imperative as the present condition of the school poses a threat to the education of their children and wards. Nafisa Bello completes the report.
These are some of the classrooms in Ogede Secondary School, located along Upper Ekenwa Road in Ovia Northeast local government area of Edo State. The appalling state of the school prompted the community leader, His Royal Highness Usadebame Ahaoa, to appeal to the state government for urgent intervention. He said he regretted that the community has been neglected over the years, leaving the people to their fate.
It is true that we have secondary school, we have primary school, we have health center, and this community is recognized by the state government. But as it is, we do not have any government representative, we do not enjoy anything from the government, we do not have any government support. The secondary school we have in this community, if you go there, you will see how it looks like. We have written to the government, we have called on the government, but we have not been able to get a reply from them.
Other residents who spoke on the issue expressed displeasure over the poor condition of the learning environment and other public infrastructures, adding that most of the existing classrooms were put in place with the efforts of the community leader, residents and parents to make sure their children still have a school to attend.
A lot of things are going on there where the children are not happy. No chairs, the roof is not there, and the little class they have is so congested. Even the one they have not removed, if you enter inside, it's totally wrong. It's totally it's not good for students to learn. So what would we need that? This is what the government should come to our aid, and these are what they said the children should enjoy because of our future. So we want the government to please come and visit the school.
If you see the school now, we have been spending our money to patch the zinc and every other thing there. So we call up the government, they will not respond.
We need the government to take proper care of the school. Government looking at the school is not a good environment for children to learn.
We don't cry, we don't tire. The children now they waka, they know they sit down. No toilets, no bedroom. So they not even they care for them. They don't try best. The government can help us repair the school. Make teachers, better teachers still they make them put chair. This boy away, not they so make them put some.
The question begging for answer is, with the pathetic state of Ogede Secondary School and many others, will the recent promise made by the state government to bequeath a legacy of quality education and better workforce that is required to survive the fourth industrial revolution be fulfilled? Nafisa Bello, Trust TV News, Benin.
In Katsina State, Governor Diko Rada has paid an assessment visit to communities affected by flood disaster in Jibia town in 2018 with a view to preventing a recurrence. The visit followed a Trust TV report on possible flood disaster in the area this year because of a dumping of refuse in the drainage constructed by the state government. Abdullahi Yamadi reports that the governor also meets customs officials, Jibia business community and other stakeholders. His report.
The assessment visit to the scene of 2018 flood in Jibia is to see what residents of the affected communities are doing and if it poses danger to the environment and possible flood disaster. Over 50 people, mostly women and children, lost their lives, while properties worth hundreds of millions of naira were destroyed in Jibia town following a flood disaster in 2018. Some residents are, however, dumping refuse inside drainages and building houses indiscriminately in flood-prone areas of the town. Governor Diko Rada directed the firm that constructed the drainages to start the phase 2 of the project with immediate effect, warning residents to desist from dumping refuse inside drainages. Governor Rada also listens to complaints from Jibia business community against the officials of the Nigeria Customs Service, bordering on extortions, seizure of goods that are not prohibited by authorities from any part of Nigeria to Jibia town.
For those who want to buy something from Kaduna or any other market, to bring it to Jibia for trading and for the use of the people of Jibia, I see no reason why those people should go into a hardship. So I think I will urge the controller to invite the head of those units that are mounting roadblocks between Kaduna to Jibia and making life hard on our people for a meeting with you and the head of those commands and myself at the government house.
Jibia town shares border with Maradi in Niger Republic. Abdullahi Izumayamadi, Trust Television News, Kazana.
In Taraba State, Governor Agbo Kefas has signed Executive Order No. 3 suspending all mining activities in the state. The action, according to the governor, became necessary given the danger it poses to the ecosystem. The governor said such dangers also lead to the exploitation of vulnerable communities and increased crime rate, which contributes to social unrest while negatively affecting the revenue generation of the state. Describing illegal mining as a cancer that had eaten deep into the fabric of the state, the governor stressed that the unregulated extraction of minerals had led to deforestation, soil erosion, water pollution, and loss of biodiversity. He empowered law enforcement agencies to go after anyone found violating the order. According to him, the state's rivers have become contaminated, affecting the health of its people and jeopardizing agricultural activities. A fire outbreak in Ilorin on Friday destroyed properties worth 14.6 million naira. The incident occurred at about 7 p.m. at Awodi Sobi Road, Ilorin, the Kwara State capital. According to the spokesman of the State Fire Service, Hassan Adekunle, the fire gutted a story building of 10 flats as a result of power surge. He said upon receiving the distress call, the fire service promptly mobilized its firefighting team to the scene. The firefighters arrived at the location, swiftly brought the fire under control and prevented it from spreading further. 5 flats were affected, while other flats, including many valuable properties, were saved from the fire. Director of the State Fire Service, Falade John Olumuyiwa, urged the residents to always cultivate the habit of switching off their electrical appliances before bedtime, as this would help them prevent the chances of fire outbreak in their homes. Borno State Governor Babagana Zulum has promised to intensify efforts to deal with insurgents ruthlessly over the recent killings of 8 farmers in the state. The governor made the pledge during a condolence visit to Muna, Shuwari, Samu, Gamdu, and Burum Kaiwa communities in Mafa and Jere local government areas of the state. He lamented that the attacks had denied farmers access to their fields, which had caused food insecurity. The governor therefore revealed that agro rangers would be reactivated and to support other security agencies to address instability in the state.
Just yesterday, some people were killed. People cannot have access to their agricultural lands easily. We had access in 2020, 2021, 2022. I see no reason why we can have access now. But I have seen the army personnel. We shall have a meeting. We shall ensure establishment of a strong mechanism that can allow people, farmers, to cultivate their lands and also deal ruthlessly with some of the remaining miscreants that are harboring around the metropolitan and its environment.
The Amotekun Corps Commander in Osun State, Brigadier General Bashir Adewumbi, on Saturday said the Corps arrested 2 armed robbery suspects for robbing a female trader returning from the market in Ila Orogun. Adewumbi, in a statement, said the suspects, Joseph Dennis, 20, and Friday Agogo, 29, both indigents of Benue State, also threatened to stab their victim with a knife while robbing her. The commander said during interrogation, the suspects confessed to the crime and also stated that they had been in the act of robbery for a very long time. Adewumbi said the suspects were handed over to the police for further investigation and prosecution. The Corps commander thereafter advised residents and traders to be cautious of their movements and avoid going through unsafe routes. He equally admonished them to report criminal activities and suspicious individuals to security agents closer to them. About 264 million people are living with depression, according to a 2018 data by research organization Our World Data. More than 1 million cases of those diagnosed with depression are linked to substance abuse. Ibrahim Ismail speaks to a medical expert about the effects of drug abuse on mental health.
The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency (NDLEA) says over 14 million Nigerians are using illicit substances. Neuropharmacologists say substance abuse impacts negatively on the human brain. By implication, a lot of Nigerians using illicit substances may be mentally unstable.
So we must ensure that the youth are protected. We are not allowed to initiate the use of some of these substances. And then the users already that have been co-opted into it, we should ensure that they are treated. The commandant told us here today, the report expert, even those who have started using these drugs, they can be treated. So I think we need to also put a lot of emphasis on research in this area, our universities and institutes, how to treat some of these substances. And I'm happy that I heard a presentation by a traditional medical practitioner. Probably they have something they can give also.
Besides damaging the human brain, substance abuse triggers complications in pregnant women and newborns, which health experts say could affect children's learning ability.
After the delivery, the baby will now may now suffer withdrawal symptoms. And this withdrawal symptoms is because the baby is already used to all the drugs inside the mother's womb. So immediately after delivery, that exposure is not there again. So this baby will now develop withdrawal symptoms, seizures, many things that may even make the baby to die again immediately after the delivery. And if that baby didn't still die, the baby may get, that child may grow up and enroll in school and be having serious learning difficulties.
I realize that the prevalence rate at younger age is rising. And if I can quote the commandant of narcotics, Mr. Okechukwu, he said that in the next 30 years, if we did not address this system, we will not have youth. So it means it's better to catch these young children at a very younger age, tell them the effect of drug abuse and its impact on their body system so that they can take the message to their friends.
Women and young Nigerians are at risk of imbibing the habit of substance abuse due to peer pressure.
I don't like taking drugs. So if the drugs was prescribed by the doctor, I'll take. But if not, I'll not even go near the drugs because it's very dangerous. Even paracetamol.
Drug abuse may lead to lots of memory loss, while some leads to brain damage and all of that. So you think that taking in drugs or something like that will help to cure this problem, but you are not realizing that it's creating another problem.
To reduce the burden of mental health disorder, experts believe society must win the fight against drug. Ibrahim Ismail, Trust TV News, Gombe.
The inability of the Independent National Electoral Commission to produce a bi-modal voters accreditation system and voters register to the petitioner in the ongoing Kano governorship election petition tribunal, the All Progressives Congress has stalled the continuation of witness hearing. At the resumed hearing on Saturday, counsel to the petitioner, APC, Ofyong SAN, told the court that they could not proceed with the hearing without the voter register and BVAS machine. Recall that on June 6, the tribunal granted leave to APC to access and inspect the BVAS machines used by INEC during the March 18, 2023 election in the state. Responding, counsel to INEC EA Oshayomi said the petitioner has to write to INEC headquarters in Abuja to access the voters register and the BVAS machine. Counsel to the second respondent at Digboyega Awomolo SAN said they're willing to cooperate with the petitioner. The three-man panel led by Oluyemi Akinton Osadebe ordered INEC to produce the documents to the petitioner before adjourning till 4th of July for further hearing. You're watching the news update on Trust TV, coming up after the break. We'll take a look at worrisome developments associated with price of grains. These and more stories to come. Stay with us.
That's great.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is the news update on Trust TV. Here is a recap of some of our top stories. We mentioned earlier that Edo community seeks government's intervention over dilapidated infrastructure. And properties worth millions of naira destroyed as fire razes homes in Ilorin. Moving to other stories, a family physician, Dr. Winful Oriake, has warned against kissing newborn babies on the lips as infections can be transmitted through it. Dr. Oriake spoke in Asaba as Delta State gears up for this year's Maternal and Newborns Child Health Week holding between 23 and 29 June. He said newborns need to be protected from diseases and infections from birth, which could be transmitted through direct lip kissing.
Adults, our grandmothers, should not carry babies, newly born baby, and be kissing the baby. You can transmit infection to that baby. That baby is just being born, has not even received vaccinations most times. That is why we even ensure that the baby received that TB vaccine at birth, because it's exposed. Visitors will come to greet the baby, to greet the mother and all that, carry the baby and kiss the baby. So that baby must be vaccinated against the common diseases, vaccine preventable diseases. So that's why we ensure and educate people to ensure that their babies are properly protected from birth and do not die within that period, which they are very exposed to those diseases.
Still in health matters, health practitioners say lack of support and encouragement often hinder women from visiting health facilities during pregnancy for antenatal care. This, they say, contribute to rise in maternal mortality rate. The expert said this during a media engagement on maternal perinatal child death and surveillance response MPCDCAR held in Bauchi State. Adamu Imam reports.
Many men in rural areas hardly supported their women to attend antenatal in hospitals, which often lead to avoidable death. Health practitioners here emphasize that men must actively participate in all matters of family health to achieve the desired objectives of maternal, perinatal, child death surveillance response in many communities in Nigeria. Dr. Ibrahim Kabo and Zuwaira Baba, both health specialists, says reducing the burden on maternal health and child death requires men-inclusive approach.
And also to create awareness in the communities for those women in the community to be able to attend antenatal care, to deliver in the hospital, to get all for the newborns to have all the immunizations and other essential care that is being rendered. We do understand that there are some complications that do arise, especially during labor and delivery. So they need to emphasize on health facility delivery, but at the same time also to ensure that those facilities are ready.
So part of the agreement there was to have a budget cut from Budget and Economic Planning Ministry, and then allocate some fund during our AOP development, and then follow up from there to see the possibility of approval and also release.
At the health facility in Misau local government area, health workers share their experiences while attending clients at the maternity clinic.
Most village, there are men, some men will say their wife will not come to hospital. That no, they don't used to attend hospital in their village, that they use gargadia, what they call gargadia, that if they use gargadia, if that gargadia fails, before they present that woman to a hospital.
We find it difficult to reach the place about our implementation, our action plan, because most of the day is not within the local government. It's out of this, maybe general, that is our local government, Katago local government. Most of them are patients that refer to us here in general hospital.
Health practitioners also expressed dismay over lack of antenatal attendance, saying it's a major issue affecting the quality of healthcare service delivery, as many husbands prefer to have their wives deliver at home. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
Customers at the Jalingo main market have described as a worrisome development the rising cost of grains in the market. The surge in price, according to Trust TV findings, has reduced the purchasing power of most customers and brought a lull in the value chain. The report.
Before now, the prices of grains during the rainy season are relatively low, unlike this year when prices have surged to record highs. This has strained household incomes and threatened livelihoods. Some sellers attributed the price increase to the deregulation in the oil sector by the federal government and the closure of borders.
We just do not have leaders in this country. That is why poor people are suffering. Food scarcity is real, and leaders must do something. We pray for our leaders to come to our aid.
They further blamed the bad road network, recent cashless policy the country undertook, insecurity among other reasons as major causes of the increase in farm produce in the market.
A bag of beans is sold at 45,000 naira. In addition to high transport fares, we pay money at checkpoints. Prices have generally gone up where we buy. What worries us more is the money at checkpoints. Government should please help us intervene.
According to them, a 100 kg bag of maize which was sold recently at the rate of 25,000 naira is now 33,000, while 100 kg bag of rice was sold at the rate of 25,000 naira is now 27,000. Guinea corn was also affected, as a bag which is now 35,000 naira was sold recently at the cost of 25,000 naira, while a bag of beans which was recently sold at 45,000 naira is now 55,000 naira.
Increase in the prices of goods in the market is on a high speed, some high increase, because the rice that we used to buy before, a measure of 400, 450, 500, now we're buying rice at 1,500 naira.
Some customers who lamented the negative impact of the masses added that they have reduced the measure of grains they consumed in order to enable them pay commercial tricycle operators, popularly known as Keke Napep, to make up for the increased transportation for them and their grains to their various destinations.
Everything has changed now. Dollar has increased, oil is expensive, oil has also increased, and many things have increased. That's why I think that's one of the reasons why items in the market are expensive now. I'm appealing that government should look into it and it should help us, the masses.
Both the customers and the sellers appeal to the government to do the needful for the betterment of the masses and the country at large.
Still in business, financial institutions have been mandated by the Central Bank of Nigeria to obtain the social media handles of customers for the purpose of identification. It also asked financial institutions to obtain email addresses, telephone numbers, and residential addresses, among other things, from customers. This is contained in the new CBN Customer Due Diligence Regulations aimed at further strengthening the identification process in the banking system. The Apex Bank published the Central Bank of Nigeria Customer Due Diligence Regulations 2023 document on its website on Friday. According to the CBN, the new regulation was designed to provide additional customer due diligence measures for financial institutions under its regulatory purview. The Naira on Friday closed on a negative note as it exchanged for 770.17 Naira against the dollar at the investors and exporters window. The Naira depreciated by 0.66% when compared with 765.13 Naira, for which it exchanged for the dollar on Thursday. The open indicative rate closed at 759.13 Naira to the dollar on Friday. An exchange rate of 801 Naira to the dollar was the highest rate recorded within the day's trading before it settled at 770 Naira. The Naira sold for as low as 461 to the dollar within the day's trading. A total of $125.47 million was traded at the official investors and exporters window on Friday. Now, away from Nigeria, Sierra Leone voted Saturday in a fiercely contested general election with President Julius Maada Bio seeking a second term amid a crippling economic crisis that sparked deadly riots last year. The deeply poor West African nation was battered by a brutal 1991 to 2002 civil war and the Ebola pandemic a decade later, and further pummeled economically by the COVID pandemic and the fallout from the war in Ukraine. 12 men and 1 woman are vying for the top job, and incumbent Bio's main challenger as Samora Kamara of the All People's Congress Party. The two could face off for the second time in a row. Bio, 59, of the Sierra Leone People's Party, narrowly beat Kamara, who is age 72, in a runoff in 2018. Rising food prices are a key issue for many voters in the import-dependent nation of 8 million people. Both Bio and Kamara told AFP they would prioritize boosting agricultural production. With that, we've come to the end of Trust TV News Update at this hour. Do not forget to engage and follow us across all of our social media platforms, and also join our YouTube live stream. I'm Aisha Salihu. Thanks for watching.